Last week, I posted this room on Twitter, and the weird thing wasn't the room itself, it was the reaction to it. Some people felt really strongly that cooling early 2000s retro and retro gaming was a sin and just wrong. And then a lot of people felt very connected to the room, very nostalgic, and it brought them back to a place in their childhood. Which is funny because that's exactly what I was going for in this room. I was recreating my childhood from the early 2000s. When I was a teenager and young, I didn't really have 90s consoles. I was born in 1994. I had a PlayStation 2. I had an Xbox 360. That's what my friends had. Our furniture was this dark wood, the dark wood ceilings. Our living rooms had brown couches, green plants. Homey, warm lighting. Just a sense of comfort. Gaming rooms weren't built on neon lights and white shelves and RGB, and I just didn't want to do that with this room. My goal wasn't to collect every console that there is. I only get the consoles that I'm personally attached to and have nostalgia for. These are the consoles I grew up with. And I love them so much, and I play all of them. I don't just collect them to display them. Every single console you see, I love and I play. I love that this room made people feel something. From a detailed breakdown on exactly why the room works with the tall wooden ceilings, the plants, the warm lighting. Peace of mind at its finest. The vibe and simplicity of it moved me. This is gorgeous, even the ceiling reminds me of older times. I feel like this room could heal me. I didn't create it for social media. I wasn't planning on even posting it online. To me, this is my offline room. And in 2026, I think having a space that you put your phone down and you stay offline is really special. And there is a reason why so many people are getting back into collecting physical media again. Videotapes, DVDs, old consoles, having the physical game. You can mod a console, and that's super cool, and I completely respect if you mod a console, but there's something really special about going to your game library and picking out a disc and deciding what game you're playing for the night. I had some friends come over recently. They borrowed an Xbox 360. They picked out 2 games each, borrowed a Guitar Hero controller, and it was so cool. They're like, this is like being at one of those early 2000s Video Easy, United Video, that's what we had here in New Zealand. It was such a special event to go on a Friday night, pick up your popcorn, a movie, a video game. I remember biking to Video Easy, renting Guitar Hero, having the controller on my back, wobbling around trying to get back on my bicycle and biking it home, and I had it for 2 days and then I had to come return it. Modern gaming. You love it, you hate it. Sometimes I love it. A lot of the time I hate it. Sometimes I just want no updates. No big long loading screen. No battle pass. You know, I don't want to make a login. I don't want people to see I'm online. I just want to be offline. I want no bullshit. And I wanted a space where I could invite a friend over and we just have a really cozy, nostalgic night where we're not on our phones, or we're not, so many games now are not couch co-op. It sucks. I have a PS5, it's collected dust because there's barely any co-op games, whereas the PS2 and Xbox 360 have just libraries of them. In fact, I would say the majority of the games are multiplayer to some extent. I think it's sad. It says a lot about where our society has gone, that most people, I don't know if you saw the latest Xbox event, they recreated each era of Xbox, and it starts with a room with a sofa and an Xbox, and the whole room sort of built around a group of friends playing Xbox on the TV. And then as time progresses, in the final room they have, there's not even a sofa. It's just a desktop setup that's all RGB gamer, which is cool. I have that. It's fun. And then there's one chair, and there's not 2 controllers out on display because they're not trying to sell you a co-op experience anymore. And this, I think the Switch does a fairly good job with having some co-op and stuff, but no one does it. The early 2000s, it was just the best era for it. And it is such a fun hobby just collecting all these pieces. If you're looking at this room and you're wondering, how'd I put this together? It's all thrifted, barely spent anything on getting the furniture. These lazy boys, they're from the 90s, bought them from a grandpa that was going into a retirement home. I think I had this exact TV cabinet as a child. These game racks, no one wants these anymore. If you want to go buy some of these, just keep an eye out. They don't sell for much. What do people use them for nowadays, Even having a CD rack, so nostalgic and cool. The CRT TV got for free from a university. Surprisingly hard to find them nowadays. There's just a certain charm with old games as well. I know technically the graphics aren't as good, but it's back when they had to really push the art style. Each game looked so different. I actually played Fable 2 for the first time recently. I'd never played anything in the Fable series. And even though I had no nostalgia for it, do you know what? It's such a beautiful game. I feel like it just stood the test of time. Just such a unique art style. It had so much whimsy in it, and I think that's really hard to find in modern games now. They all sort of look a bit samey, built in Unreal Engine. They have that look to them. I won't go on a full rant about that. There are so many videos on YouTube sort of talking about why modern gaming sucks, but I do think it highlights just the charm and authenticity of these old games. They're so beautiful. Just appreciate them for what they are. One thing that also really surprised me in getting an old CRT TV, which I haven't had since the 2000s, if you play like an Xbox 360 or especially PS2 on a modern TV, your first thought is, this doesn't look as good as I remember. This hasn't aged that well. But you forget, you plug it into a CRT TV, and those games were designed for this old TV. This old TV blends the colors and the edges, the sort of implied detail. They built the models, even the text on the screen, knowing it was going to be run in like 480p? I don't even know, 360p on these TVs. The way these TVs render the colors and everything, the games look amazing. Like, even just taking footage of it on this TV doesn't do it justice. You have to see it in person. The games actually look beautiful. So if you are like debating, should I get a CRT TV? I know they do take up a bit of space. They're pretty big and heavy, but the games are just so much better played on the TV. And I think a lot of people make those arguments for emulators. I think emulators can be really cool, but there's something about the original hardware. Like on the 3DS, I'm sorry, you cannot emulate a 3DS game. There's something about that 3D slider, and I can't even take footage for you and show you because the naked eye has to see it. The camera can't pick up the 3D effect, but those games were designed to be in 3D. With this room, I wasn't trying to build a collection. I was trying to build a feeling. I was trying to capture that feeling from my childhood. I don't know, maybe you had a good childhood, maybe it was a little average. I think a lot of us had divorced, screaming parents in the early 2000s, and our game consoles were kind of our escape, and it's kind of a happy piece of our childhood. Or maybe you had a good childhood and it's just good memories, which good for you. I didn't want to build this collection where I'm just showing off everything I have. I didn't want it to be a display collection. I wanted it to be a place where my retro consoles that I love actually live. And I'm sorry if you don't think the PS2 and Xbox 360 and 3DS are considered retro, but they are pretty old.